Hello, hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me live from or catch my replay. Hi, I'm Susie. I'm coming to you live from Malaysia. It's right now 10:30 a.m. It's morning at my site. Today, I am doing my weekly Monday live chat where I'll be sharing my life through, my everyday life through the online business as a journey as an entrepreneur and mentor. So it's already mid, I think early mid July. And oh yes, if you are watching me live or even replay, please feel free to comment in the comments below where you're watching me from, as I love to give my thanks to you. Last week I shared about a topic, a special topic, is about the mindset, how my mindset works. Because in the business, myself or sometimes you see my guests, business partner always talk about the lightness and the right mindset to do this business. So I'm going to talk a little bit in depth about this mindset. So last week was talking about improvising can be changed, why we improvise. And it ends with why is it all right to do so. So if you like to learn more about it, you can watch my replay of it in my Facebook video tab on the playlist section. There's a lot of titles there. You can go and watch it from there. And anything that resonates to you, or you find that you have questions or something that I shared you like to learn more, you can always reach out to me by a message. So let's go into the topic of the day. So last week was like episode 1. Now it's like an episode 2. So I have my series during this live chat. So as again, I'm going into my mindset, how it works. So this time is about my hopes and fears change. So what does they do for me? Actually, they are the ones who made my decisions. So whatever I think, whatever I do, it comes from this too. So I'll be telling my perspective in my 20s and then to my 30s. Because right now I'm in my 30s. So let's go back to 10 years ago in my 20s. Why 20s? Well, because to me, the 20s is where I really come out. Because that time, after in your childhood, your teenage, your young adult, you've been studying, like your parents tell you education is important. You need your education. You need to go through every level, get a proper education before you come up on your own. Because that time, you are no longer relying on someone. You are independent. You need to work out something for yourself. So basically that time my hopes are getting a job, because after you've been studying, you get a degree, or some of you might get diploma, you're getting your certs, you're coming out from your studies. The next thing is to be do things yourself. You want to own things yourself, is get a job. Yeah, that's the focus and the direction given to you. So my hopes was getting a job. So that leads to my fears. My fears was the sense of security and sustainability, meaning that you need something, you need money, right, to go through your day, because you can't get anything around you for free unless someone buy things for you. So when you're coming on your own, you need something to sustain you. You need something to feel secure, to lead your daily life. Basically, to survive as yourself, as you're not relying on anyone, you are on your own. So that was my mindset that time. I was leading the life, exploring in my 20s what the real life is. Yeah. And that's what leads to my job as a music teacher in profession. And along the way, I met my hubby to be. So that's what life was for me. So my 20s was basically doing what I can. Everything was in the, everything you can say 10 times more, really determined. Like you have the fire, burning passion to feel what it's like independent at the time. Yeah. So that was then. Now, in the 30s, right now, what leads the changes between the two is where life situation and you're already gaining experience what it's like the real life for you. So this too was kind of like the main factor that changes your hopes and fears. Let me tell you why. We all know that during our life situation, pandemic hit. I'm sure all of us know when was the pandemic hit. In the year 2020 it started. And for me as a teacher, it does have a biggest impact because I was so used to my life before. My job requires me to be physically there. Hands on. You need the hands on. You need to see my client, my students. I'm not like instantly when pandemic hit. I was so used to everything. I don't have that anymore, and switch everything to online base. I have to see my clients, see my students through online, through a laptop like this, and to teach not just any subject like the education, just put pictures or just read the book. No, I'm teaching music through online. That was a big shift. And that pandemic itself shows how vulnerable, how easy that my job or my life that I know easily gone. It was so easy. 50% I could have, 50% of it I can have just just disappear. And what I'm going to do if I lost it? How am I going to earn and sustain what my hopes and fear I have that to go by the day? So it was so easy. That time my mindset was, I can't remain there. I have to change. That time the changing of hoping to get it is now hoping to maintain it, hoping to maintain my job. And the fear is, yes, sustain and security. I need to maintain it. So that time I have to do something. It's like either make it, break it, do it, or you will lose it. So that's how vulnerable it is. So that was the start of the change. And then when post-pandemic come out, when we are starting to come out to the world, and that time I thought things can go back, the mindset go back what I had in the 20s. But then I realized something. My age is not staying young or staying like the 20s. We are moving on. Our age still moves on. There's no time stop. We're moving on. Life is moving on. Then when life moving on, things start to move on, meaning changing. It's no longer what it is in the 20s. And that time I feel like I cannot apply the same thing, like what we call a formula that we have in 20s, can apply the same thing on the 30s. It start to change. That's what I also learned in my job. Sometimes what you have a formula that you have for your student, but not every student can adapt to your same formula or teaching ways. You have to be adaptable. That's what for me, I had to adapt with the changes that in the 30s. That time I was really also sense of tired because I went through so much 20s, the pandemic, the post-pandemic, and remaining the same hope that I can get something better, but sadly I don't think so. Even with my relationship with my hubby, we've been so long, and I was wondering a big question: when can we move on to our next life? When can we say that we can build a life together? And even in my place that I'm staying for so many years, I'm staying at a rental. So the question is, when can I get my own space, my own home that is under my property? So it's in our nature, as a human. When you're getting older, or maybe when you're too long doing something, same, you have that sense of greed that you want something more. A greed, like you want, you already have this, but I want this. Because I said so long this, why not experience this one? Cannot be in my once in my lifetime, I cannot achieve something more. Yeah. So that is the question that I had doing that changes in me. So when I hit 30, I really was determined to change myself. I was really tired of having that sense of same security, the sustainability, and the same hope. I already have that, but what's next? I cannot tell myself that in my 30s or reaching to 40s and 50s remain the same thing without expecting more. That's not me, and I don't like that kind of same. It's like it's like black and white. Where's all the fun, the color side of it? If I always like that same black and white uh, mindset, it's like I'm not living my life. It's like that is like you're saying, until the day that I no longer alive, to remain the same. That's not how I want my life is. So in my 30s, I can say now my hopes is, since I have my hobby to be my job, I wanted to build a life together with my hobby. It's like I want to say I want to have my own family. It's already my age is not getting younger. I want to have my family before there's more complications happening that I can't. And the second thing is my job. I hoping that I can get some, when we too long in our job, we hope that we can get more increment, get higher salary. Yes, but that is what we hope. But in reality, sadly, I don't see. And if you want more, you need to sacrifice more. That's what I see. The sacrifice meaning sacrifice more time. You have to put your effort to get more. And I can tell you, you do that, you can only feel like my physical mental might not be as strong as what I thought. You see, in the 20s, everything can. When you're at 30s and starting to getting older, everything can become everything like not so can already. Yeah, so that's how the changes is coming. You might not want this change, but this is happening. This is your body. We are not as young as we are as progressing life. So you see, time is really as important. It's really, you can feel it's chasing to you. So we don't actually have a lot of time. So that's why I have to make the change. If you do have that change, that's what the mindset that I'm trying to say. That's a good mindset. In fact, it's the right mindset where this is how success people would think, because they are thinking out of the box, meaning that they are changing. They want to get things they want, then they are willing to embrace the growth, the to learn, to accept something new. So that's why my hope and my fears in the 30s that I want to embrace. First thing, my hope is all the things that I want to achieve, I want it. I really want it. The second thing is my fear is starting to expand, meaning that I no longer feel that 20s controlling my fears, my life. I wanted to embrace them. I wanted to overcome them. The fear of security. I don't want to say that I get this, I get this. I want more. I already seen how experience in my those 20s pandemic and post had led me that expecting this doesn't give me sense of fulfillment in my life. So I want more. So I have to learn to embrace my fears. So if you like to learn more about what kind of fears, actually I have have a live chat talk or talk with my amazing business partners, with amazing ladies on every Wednesday. We have been talking about the concept of fear and how to overcome them. So you can watch them as well in my playlist replay. So just go ahead and find out more about it. So the fear that I have mentioned, the sense of security, sustainability, is starting to become more, meaning that I no longer want to limit myself. I want to overcome it. So the things that I say cannot, I can. I can. The fear of expecting, fear of no become I want it. So that's how I want to share from my perspective of my mindset. And that's why I do things, like differently as in the 20s. This is all the push, because sometimes when you have a fear of wanting, it gives you that push to make whatever you think, whatever you act on. So that's why I made the decision. I am doing this as big as this in this online business, because my mindset, my hopes and fears has changed to um, one need to build my life better, because I already have enough. Enough is enough what I had in my 20s all the way to the time before I knew about this online business. So that is how, yeah, my mindset works. So thank you so much if you're watching me today in either my replay. Yeah, there will be a replay session of this. So if you have questions and whatever I shared earlier, you have you want to share your side about also your hopes and fears, whether you also want this business to be your opportunity that works for you to build your the dreams and the life that you wanted. Feel free to reach out to me by a message, or you can actually learn more with my website here about what is this online business about. And you have more questions, you can still reach out to me. I'm here for the long run. So you will see me time to time from my posts, my videos, and even my live. So you know where to reach me out wherever you see me. So thank you so much. And I wish you all to have a great day, a great Monday. And I'll see you the next live. Thank you and goodbye.